walls are falling apart. Right now you don't know where to start. Right now the walls are caving in.
Hey everybody, I am RJSMITH, and this thing of ours is called Crazy News Reacts, where I scour the globe for the weirdest, most insane, and craziest video news and make it available for your viewing pleasure every night at midnight. Today, I have a Hillsborough County deputy, which is in Tampa, who's under investigation for 3 separate incidents. I'm going to show you a video and then ask you to comment on it. If this is your first time here, woohoo! Welcome aboard, and if you're returning, my heart goes out to the subscribers. Please share this with your friends so we can continue to grow, hit 1,000 subscribers, and go live stream. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it.
New tonight, we're bringing voices from our community to the forefront. Tips from you led I-Team investigator Kylie McGivern to look into the history of one Hillsborough County deputy as agencies work to maintain or rebuild trust. And Kylie joins us now in studio with what she uncovered. Kylie?
Yes, our I-Team got a tip about concerns surrounding a deputy's Facebook post and what a community activist called racial undertones. What caught our attention is the deputy's name, Sean Bush. A year and a half ago, community members alerted us to a use of force incident involving Bush. We requested his personnel file and digging further found another internal affairs investigation. This one was involving improper use of his official position. This officer's story is an example of what experts say is a divide between public perception and law enforcement policies. We do want to warn you, some of what you're about to see may be disturbing.
Now, if this was just one incident, it might not have caught my attention. But 38-year-old deputy Sean Bush, a 12-year veteran of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, is under investigation again right here in Tampa, Florida, for 3 separate incidents. This latest that occurred on April 24, 2024, shows deputies were patrolling Beacon Meadows Park right here. There, they encountered this man who they claim had previously been criminally trespassed from the park, meaning he was not allowed to come back. Deputies claim that for 20 minutes they begged who they're calling the suspect, refused to leave the park on their order, and continued to put his hands in his pockets. Nothing wrong there, right?
We've got some strange currents going on in our society right now that really seek to delegitimize law enforcement and what they're doing.
In April, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law that will go into effect in July, stripping city and county review boards of their ability to investigate officer misconduct.
They'll stack it with activists, and they'll just start reviewing things and trying to put people under the gun.
This is where my face is entrusted.
We met community activist Dr. Michelle Williams in East Tampa. Williams emailed Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister expressing deep concerns over Bush's Facebook post, showing a black man, supposedly one of the Kansas City Chiefs parade shooters, handcuffed, with the caption MSM, or mainstream media rats. Persecute him just like you did Kyle Rittenhouse.
Enough is enough. Now you're putting racial undertone posts on your social media page.
HCSO's chief communications officer told us the social media post prompted an internal review that found no violation of policy.
Now, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office patrols an 888-mile area. It's huge, and they employ about 3,300 deputies and civilian staffs altogether. They have 2 jails, 5 police boats, 5 helicopters, and 1 airplane, so that kind of gives you the idea of how huge this law enforcement agency is. The deputies here must be at least 21 years of age and have at least an associate's degree from college, and at least 3 years of continual employment somewhere else that can be verified. However, detention deputies, the ones who work in the jails that are called corrections officers, only have to be 19 to start. And the starting salary is only $40,000 a year. Pretty low. There have been 17 deputies who have lost their life while actively employed by the organization. But let's continue and see what happens next.
After reviewing nearly 500 pages making up Bush's file, we found more than a dozen commendations and awards and 5 internal affairs investigations. 3 of those were for traffic crashes said to be avoidable.
I've been following this deputy's history for quite a bit. There was an incident where his body cam was on and he was being recorded very aggressively handling a transgender female.
A use of force incident in 2020 when Bush responded to a domestic violence call involving Jenny DeLeon.
Hey, this is my house,
6
though.
feet, okay?
Okay, you're so awesome. Thanks for your service.
Don't touch me.
Good enough, you know.
Get on the ground. Don't touch me, okay? Get on the ground.
You know, coronavirus touch my car.
Stay on the ground.
No.
Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. Don't resist.
Oh, I'm not resisting. Oh, I'm not resisting.
Taser.
I'm epileptic. Oh,
Stay on your back.
I'm epileptic.
Stay on your back.
Attorney Catherine Viker obtained the video when she was working on a separate case defending a Hillsborough officer also accused of excessive force.
We had to go to court twice and fight tooth and nail to get an unredacted version of the truth, because what is in his IA report and what that video shows do not match up.
Interesting. The cop and the transgender fist bump. And then what does the cop do? Grabs the citizen around the neck, takes him to the ground, tases him saying, "Don't touch me." But the deputy did the fist bump. Wow. Incredible. Deputy Bush is no stranger to investigations. He's been under investigations several times for misconduct, for abuse of power, for police brutality. And yet nothing ever gets done with him except for being taken off work for 7 to 10 days without pay. That is not discipline. And just in February, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Deputy Charity Arthur received a commendation from a commissioner for reporting abuse in the sheriff's office. Of course, she came under heavy retaliation, which speaks volumes about why this deputy is allowed to get away with what he does. Let's continue.
As part of the administrative investigation, a detective asked Bush, "Is there any reason why you didn't mention any of your hand movements in his report?" Here are portions of Bush's response.
It wasn't intentional. I wasn't intending on putting my hands around DeLeon's neck. That's just where my hands landed as we landed on the ground.
But the video showed his hands on her neck a second time. The disciplinary action, a letter of reprimand saying grabbing around the throat was brief and unintentional, however, was not part of any training Bush has received. He then received 4 hours of use of force remedial training.
Took him back to the mats and retrained him. Now, is that a standard? Yes, it is a standard. That is what should have happened.
Dr. David Thomas is a retired police officer and professor at Florida Gulf Coast University.
In this case, the sheriff's office did the right thing.
4 days later, an incident that launched another internal affairs investigation. Bush showing up at a Walmart, off duty, after his neighbor, detained for suspected shoplifting of a nearly $400 vacuum, called him for help.
I didn't know why you were here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a neighbor. I was seeing if you guys could just do trespass.
No.
Just out of good faith and everything.
No, we're going to add that value.
You're deputy?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Good family friend.
Well, the problem is that he's on probation.
On probation for aggravated assault in Texas. In the shoplifting case, the neighbor satisfied his judgment, but that judgment and sentence are sealed by the court. Internal documents show Bush was asked why he injected himself into the investigation.
I don't have an excuse for that. My gut instinct was to try to help him out as far as making sure he got a fair shake.
How do you think this would be viewed by the public?
It depends. I think some people understand that we're human. In the jobs we do, we make human errors.
HCSO suspended Bush for 10 days.
There is an inherent responsibility to the public and to the organization. And I think when you start to abuse your power, it's horrible for everybody.
Despite multiple requests, HCSO would not agree to an interview. Its spokesperson telling us there is still an outstanding review. The state began that review more than 3 years ago.
Police departments and sheriff's offices cannot investigate their own. They are the thin blue line. They take up each other's backs. So when the governor ended review boards, basically saying to the cops, have at it. Nobody's going to investigate you. Well, that's all I have for you on this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing the content. And make comments, too. I'd love to interact with you. And if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, you guys know I love Starbucks, and the link is in the description of the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And for those of you who have bought me coffees, thanks. I'll see you right back here when? Tomorrow.